In a nutshell, battles that define epic. And some tuning abuse. Okay, let's get this fucking review started. No one ever mentioned growing up is easy, and I can guarantee that all of you have at least that one memory that you look back on with a sense of shame, embarrassment and regret, which kind of makes you want to do this. However, in real life, all you can do is accept it and move forward. Before we move on, let's quickly establish what a Chuunibyou is. So, derived from the slang term 8th grader syndrome, which originates from Japanese internet culture. Refers to grown individuals, i.e. adults or teenagers that take on the persona of a supernatural being with special powers, whilst being looked down on by the norms of society. The story revolves around Yuta Togashi, or should I say... As you just witnessed now, Yuta had been a victim of the 8th grader syndrome, which he has now left behind in pursuit of seeking an ordinary high school life. Well, that is till Yuta encounters Rika. Yes, I'm aware, another typical boy meets girl situation, but what makes this relationship unique is that Rika is still into the depths of her Chuunibyou ways. And as you can foresee, that the interaction between the two characters becomes a game of Yuta always saying and with Rika making it all the more difficult with the consistent upbringing of Yuta's dark past of the... For my thoughts on the plot, it's pretty simple and plain at first sight, like many of Kyoto Animation's recent series. As the story starts, you may see this series as a slapstick, over-exaggerated fantasy school life comedy, which was great fun to see characters' personalities conflicting and seeing the epic battles that goes through the mind of a Chuunibyou, which was pretty epically executed well, I might add, for Kyoto-style animation. Then enters the latter half of the series, where the show really tunes in harmony with the slice of life, drama and romance that this show cleverly gradually builds to. Without giving away too much, what's done in the second half on the series is more geared towards Rika and the cause of what triggered her 8th grader syndrome. As well as the romance that obviously develops between her and Yuta. The romance in Chuunibyou didn't particularly stand out to me, as I preferred the other subgenres to the show more than what the romance was showing, but it was good to see that variety of genre being implemented into a series like Chuunibyou, which makes all the more appealing. The drama in this series overwhelmed me, as Rika's backstory gets more exposure, the more drama and slice of life is touched upon, with touching scenes like this. The voice acting, especially at make or break scenes with confrontations, really made the characters for me come to life and made the performance that much more believable than what I had perceived at first. As for the characters, they each particularly have that one likability factor about each of them that makes them unforgettable. We have Dekomori. And that's all there is to Dekomori, aka Rika's bitch, and some playful bashing towards Nibutani. Playful, should I say? Well, I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Then we have Nibutani, the ex-Chuunibyou that first seemed like a nice girl that you'd like to tap. However, the more you know about her, the more blunt and fearful she becomes. As for Ishiki and Cumin, both of them are more enjoyable to watch together than as separate characters in my opinion. Seeing Ishiki trying to get with Cumin gives you a few laughs here and there. As for Rika's sister Toka, as hot as she is, her character takes the form of a catalyst to push the story further and always gives Yuta that extra push to progressing the story. As for the main cast, the relationship that develops between Yuta and Rika is nothing less than adorable and hilarious to watch, especially when you see both of them interact. However, I would have liked to see some times where Rika would have Yuta's back in any difficulties that he could have faced, but then again, it's quite hard to incorporate into the show, especially when Rika was the subject of having difficulties in the story. All in all, without the traits and personalities of these characters, the plots could have easily flopped as well as the show, as the interactions between all the characters is what makes the series so enjoyable and fun to watch. As for the animation, it fell nothing of short whatsoever. The style and vibrant colours that were present matched the tone and atmosphere of what Chuunibyou is all about. Kyoto animation style truly fits well with the theme and story of what Chuunibyou is. It came to a surprise to me how wonderfully Kyoto Animation managed to show those action scenes with magical spells and big ass weaponry, as it's not really their forte to show that kind of stuff given how their recent works haven't really shown anything as action packed as the crazy imaginations that we see through the eyes of a Chuunibyou. All in all, the animation style of Kyoto usually sticks to nowadays, complemented the series very well for what it was, as I look forward to the future of what they do with Season 2. Overall, Chuunibyou has a simple concept, with an original idea that gives a further glimpse into a part of otaku culture, and falls nothing short as a comedic, slice-of-life romance anime. Most of my enjoyment from the series came from the interactions from characters, which made me feel even more sympathy for them during their downtimes. The show overwhelmed me how it was more than just a simple slapstick comedy. It had a deep, down-to-earth story buried beneath the school-life comedy, which makes me wonder if there's a real need for a second season, as the first season managed to wrap up everything well and actually gave me closure for a 12-episode series, which is quite uncommon from what you get from newer series nowadays, as they expect you to follow up the original source to get an ending. So after weighing in everything, I would give Chuunibyou a fat 8.5, which in my books means great. It is a fine example for all romantic comedies out there to follow through in the 12-episode paradigm. Definitely do give it a watch, especially if you've seen anything along the lines of Orishura, Sakura-so, K-On! And Hagman. I'm the Sly Dragon 93. I hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like this video to spread the awareness of Chuunibyou and subscribe for more upcoming reviews. And I'll be sure to catch you guys later in the Earth Real Horizon.